Hey, welcome back once again. J.P.s World of Wrestling. I am your man, J.P., and today we conclude the Hasbro version of my series of profiling individual wrestlers and their correlating action figure. Now, last time I talked about the Rockers. This time I'm talking about another tag team that I really liked, and here they are. The Bushwackers, Luke and Butch. Now, recently I did my tribute to Bushwacker Butch because he recently passed away. But I really enjoyed the Bushwackers. I really liked them. They were never going to be like the tag team champions. You know, they were probably never going to headline a show or anything, but it doesn't matter. These guys just went out there to entertain the fans, and entertain the fans they did. And they got some pretty impressive pay-per-view victories. Like they beat the fabulous Rougeau brothers twice on pay-per-view. Once at the Royal Rumble and once at WrestleMania 5. But they also wrestled against the Natural Disasters one time. And I thought these guys were just going to get destroyed. But no, they actually held their own. They actually did pretty good against the Natural Disasters. They didn't win, but they held their own. But yeah, these guys, they would march to the ring and go, whoa, yay! They would let people in the audience, and not super technical wrestlers. None of their moves were spectacular. They were mostly just brawlers, punching and kicking, clotheslining, elbow drops, with the occasional sunset flip. And I think their finishing move was a battering ram where Luke would put his head right there, and then Butch would charge at him, and they would hit their opponent with the top of Luke's head. But no, these are pretty good figures. I got a lot of play out of these figures, and just like in real life, they didn't really win a whole lot, but the fans loved them. I mean, the fans just really loved them. And everybody knows that the Bushwackers were notorious for having very, very short runs in Royal Rumbles. I mean, that's just the way it was. I mean, Butch lasted a little bit longer than Luke usually did, but he still didn't last really that long, because he would come in and just kind of start punching at their stomach and, punching at their face and, but they were potentially easily thrown out over the top. Which is why when I was a kid, they kind of have this reputation of being basically jobbers. But even though they weren't, because if you go back and watch some of those old matches, they weren't exactly jobbers, because they did win some matches, but they weren't exactly ever going to be tag team champions. But nevertheless, the Bushwackers were a fun tag team, and I like them, and I like these figures, and what more can you say? I remember them having kind of a feud. Like I said, they had a feud with the fabulous Rougeau brothers, and they had a feud with Rhythm and Blues. In fact, I remember WrestleMania 6, when the Rhythm and Blues were performing a song. These guys interrupted the song and smashed up their guitars and chased them out of the ring. Now, like I said before, Greg Valentine didn't care for that Rhythm and Blues gimmick, and it was a terrible gimmick, and I didn't like it. But nevertheless, they feuded with the Bushwackers, and yeah, Bushwackers all the way. I love the Bushwackers, and I always did. And if you look at Luke nowadays, he looks really good. Actually, Luke looks like he could still go. He looks like he could still be in the ring, because he's kept himself in shape. Now, Butch, on the other hand, like I said, he recently passed away, but he was on, crutches, and so he didn't really look as good. But nevertheless, they were always good to the fans, and they were always fun, and they were always fun to watch. So, Bushwackers, Bushwhacker Luke, if by some chance you're looking at this, thank you so much, sir, for the years and years of memories. Well, that's going to do it, not only for this video, but for the Hasbro version of this series, because that's the last of my Hasbro collection. But don't worry, because I'm continuing on, but I'm continuing on with the Galoobs. And when I'm done with the Galoobs, I'll move on to the Mattel Retros, and I'll probably talk a little bit, because I have a few of the Jakks Pacific figures. I'll go into those, and the regular Mattel figures, and I'll talk about why those figures are terrible. Anyway, if you're new here, or actually, what are some of your memories of the Bushwackers? Leave them in the comments below. And now, if you're new here, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.